Shut up and sit down.
Hi guys, I'm Dodge, this is Bigmeks Workshop and Paint Studio, and we keep getting requests for a beginner series of videos, so that's what this whole video is about, and there's going to be a whole load of these coming out, and you'll see all those in a minute. We're going to cover what we're going to do in this series for beginner painters. Doesn't matter what level of painter you are really, although this is based at the beginner painters. It is more just a case of brushing up skills if you're a bit more advanced, and if you're a bit more advanced you're probably just watching our Thursday, Monday tutorials anyway. But like I said, we keep getting requests for these, so let's get the new painters or people who've been painting a while who aren't happy with their skills, get their skills brushed up so they can follow along a lot easier and get better results for the other tutorials that we do. And another point to make about improving your technique from beginner or advanced, you will find self-criticism is absolutely key. If you're going to paint and you're going to paint something and think it's amazing because you painted it, it's going to take you a lot longer to improve. Take a look at your painting and be very critical of it. Not too critical so you're not enjoying what you're doing, but be critical enough so you can find flaws in it and you can that's what I need to improve next. Because if you're not looking for that, then you're really going to improve very slowly. And obviously, be realistic with your criticism. You're not going to go from being a beginner painter to winning a golden demon next week. It's not going to happen. There's a lot to learn, and a lot of it's muscle memory and technique, and it just comes over time. I spent 3 years painting day in, day out, all day, every day, before I got my first golden demon, and it was a bronze. So I mean really day in, day out, long days of painting, but that doesn't mean it's not doable. Everyone improves at a different speed, and hopefully this series will help you along with that. A technique that will be useful here to help you improve is to keep hold of a old painted model, something that you're happy with now. Put him to one side and leave him be. Then either using new models or stripping a bunch of your old ones. We'll follow along this series and we'll see if we can improve it, so when you look back and compare the two, you can very clearly see your improvements on your techniques. If you don't know how to strip the paint from the models, we do have a video. I'll put the link in the description for that, and everyone in that video is telling you what country they're from and what they use, so you should be able to find something to strip your models back down. So there's going to be 10 parts in this beginner painting series, and then later on we may add more to them, or we may go to a more novice or advanced set and do those as well. What we're going to cover in this particular series, part 2 will be stripping models, which is already done as we've got a video on that, so that will be the first thing we'll be doing. Part 3 will be the prep work. This will cover things like how to clean the model properly, filling in gaps, gluing and pinning, and that's for plastic and metal models. Part 4 will be different primers, what to use, what not to use, and the techniques to apply them to get a good solid prime and base coat. Part 5 is going to be all about brushes, and me and Andy could talk all day about brushes, the ones we like and the ones we don't, what they're used for, and when to use those particular brushes and what job each one is for. Part 6 is going to be all about paints and brands, because as you can see behind us we have a lot of different brands of paint. They're all ever so slightly different, have different consistencies and pigments, so we're going to cover that. Also in that same segment we're going to have a section on colour theory as well, as you will find that quite useful as a beginner painter. Part 7 is going to be starting the project at last. So if you've bared with us through all those other parts, we'll finally be starting a project. We will be putting down the first base coats, blocking in colours, working on the paint consistency, and that will be all for that one, but we'll go into as much depth as we possibly can. Part 8 will be highlighting and shading. This will be all to do with mixing your washes, the consistency of washes, how to apply them. We will also show you the different thinners that we use in the studio, as there's at least 3 or 4 different types of thing we can use to thin our washes to get different results, and we'll show you all of those. Part 9, we'll be working on edge highlights and other techniques such as blending and dry brushing. And once you've mastered all these, we'll be getting to part 10, which is a technique we use all the time now. It's just natural to us. Yeah, part 10 will be the wet palette and glazing. Now that does deserve its own video, as it can take quite a lot of time to demonstrate the effects there. You will see us use those in most of our Thursday tutorials. We do use a wet palette constantly, and once you've mastered the other techniques and you're able to use a wet palette, you will see a significant improvement in your painting. And hopefully if you've kept a model to one side by then, you will be able to look back and think, yeah, I've improved a lot. And after the wet palette, it's time to move on to some more advanced techniques. So I hope that lays out the rest of this playlist for you, and that you do follow along. And just before we round this particular video off, I would like to give a special thank you to Cliff Leonard, Joe Spearpoint, Lowell Tarley, Ludwig Hofbauer, Warren Brunston, Danny Wack and Chris Lindquist. You guys are great, you're our Patreons, and your support helps us get more models into the studio for painting, and without your support we wouldn't be making these videos for the beginner painters as well. If you enjoy any of the videos we do, or you're enjoying this idea of the beginner series and want to become a patron, the links are in the description. Every donation to the channel helps. It just helps us get more paint, more things, and we can make more videos for you guys. A big thank you to the Outpost. They are our affiliate. There's a link in the description, and they sell all the hobby stuff you want, including brushes, paints and all the equipment we've got, and it's a very cheap price. It's a huge discount from 15 to 20% off, and it's all brand new stuff. So do go check those out using that link in the description, and we get store credit from them for the advertisement, so that all helps us out as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope you follow along with the rest of the series. We'll catch you in the next one.